All right, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome to the Apprentice Season 6 Tier In review. I am your host, the media lead, the runner-up, and former VDC champion VK, and today I am joined with three amazing individuals across three different amazing franchises. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Hello, I'm Drisk. Played for OS. I was the MVP for Apprentice this season and also got the chip. Probably wouldn't have got Finals MVP. Pretty lackluster performance, but that's me.
I'm Tavasi. I played for High Tide this season. I was their resident chamber player. Uh, Made it to quarterfinals, but yeah.
So I'm Imperial, played for PA, resident Senti, resident Lurk, timing diff. We got fifth, first rounded, but all good. Next season's a new season.
Next season's a new season. I like that
Next season's a new
mentality. I
season.
like that mentality so much. All right, so to start off the review, let's start off with a high note. Let's start off with which one of the moments of this very long season. I mean, this is probably one of the longer seasons that we've had. What was your favorite moment about this season? We're gonna start with you, Imperial.
Ooh, okay. I think my favorite moment, honestly, I was playing a team on Sunset. Don't be mad, I don't remember who you are. I lurked down mid, and I actually got the most perfect timing. They looked away at the moment I ran out the corner, and watching it back, I think it was just my favorite thing. Just being able to RNG that luck and just get behind them and get three. I think that was my favorite for sure.
Nice, nice. Good old Valorant timings.
Yeah,
Gets us all.
always,
Gets us all.
always.
Tavasi, how about you?
I think for my own season, my favorite point would probably be racing against MF on stream when
Mm.
Drag was still on the team, because I haven't had the opportunity to do that against her in a long time.
Dude, aces on stream just hit different, especially when you have casters that are like super into the stream and calling out that ace. So actually, I think that might have been me. I think I remember that clip. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could just be completely just chatting crap right now. All right, Drisk, what is your favorite moment of the season? And you can't say winning the
Uh,
championship or
I,
MVP.
I won't. I won't say that. I won't say it. Mine's probably. I think it was our first game against MF we played. We played Lotus. It was like a crazy overtime. We got like 14-15,
Mm.
and I clutched a 1v4. And it was like at that point, I still like Royal's been doing his little player list or whatever, and I've never been inside the top 10. So it was just like a little defining factor, like, hey, like I'm here.
Yeah. Shout out Royals top 10 list, by the way, guys.
True.
You know
Yeah.
what?
True.
We're going to save that for the end of the tier in review. We're going to save that for the tier of the review because I think that you could have some juicy topics coming off of there. But, big shout out to Royal for always giving us those juicy topic points. I definitely think my favorite part of the season was again just getting to play against so many like amazing players. We definitely saw a step up from the league last season in quality, and I love that. I love that we were able to really put on a show for all the viewers out there. And honestly, just taking over media this season. This season was a really fun season for me. Really stressful. So if you guys think being media heads easy, it's really not. Really stressful, but a lot of fun. And I just am so happy we were able to make so many people happy with the quality of media and the quality of streams and stuff like that. And I'm proud to announce that we streamed every single team in VDC bar OS Expert because their stream ended up getting forfeited. Their game ended up getting forfeited. They didn't want to reschedule. So I'm gonna still count that as every team got streamed because they were scheduled. They were scheduled. So that's on them. But no, shout out OS, shout out Spence, shout out Drisk, I guess. Um, so going on to a little bit of a low point, or maybe not even a low point, but maybe something just a little bit more easy, harder to answer. What would you guys say was the hardest part of this season for you guys? We're gonna switch it up. We're gonna start with Driss to go first here.
Hardest part, I would say, just like our team. Like I know we like end up winning championship and everything, but like there was a lot of struggles we had on our team, especially during the period of time where TK wasn't there on our team.
Mm-hmm.
And I even told Spence, like, beginning of the season, preseason notes, we were making cut notes and stuff. I said if TK doesn't play on our team, we're probably not winning the game because we look so lost without him. And that's what happened. We went out there and played during those 3-4 games without him, and we just looked lost, and a lot of arguments happened. But I did think that helped us because we were able to fix things that we probably wouldn't have found out if TK wasn't there.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, I mean, we kind of proved that when you played KC and got 2-0'd without TK. Just saying. But no,
we didn't play y'all at all with TK. But
no, you didn't. Time. Yeah,
so it was 3-1.
It was 3-1. I wasn't gonna bring up the 1-1 because I was gonna bring up the 2.
I know you were bring up the 2. It was 3-1. Let's get it. We got one off of you.
Yeah, you did. And shout out TK though. So that again, like you said, TK was a pivotal part of that OS team. And, it was funny. He was saying that, I guess it wasn't a fluke that KC won against OS without me, blah, 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 blah. Like, all right, TK. I still love you, though. You're still my homie. But, all right, awesome. Tavasi, how about you?
I think the hardest part we had this season was probably, well, at least for me, I'd say, we had kind of a slump at the end of the season. Like, the last maybe week and a half, like before the last game, we just kind of slowed down heavy. I feel like we kind of picked it up.
Tight. That guy's calling me back. I'm not even kidding.
No way.
I guess we pause. All right. So 3, 2, 1. All right. So Tavasi, how about you?
I think that the rough part in my season was probably the slump that we kind of experienced towards the end of the season. We took, 2-0 from PA and a 2-0 from OS. OS one I kind of expected, but it is what it is. That kind of buckles the resolve a little bit before going into playoffs. But I think we were able to at least recover respectably. So other than that, I mean, I think we had a pretty good season.
That wasn't an easy 2-0 against you either. You give us a run for our money on that sunset.
We tried.
No, that's awesome to hear that you were able to bounce back, and that's something we're going to actually get into with both our PA and High Tide representatives here. Imperial, how about you? What was the hardest part of the season for you?
Multiple roster changes, me coming in, being new to the game, and then my IGL steps away, and they're like, "We need an IGL," so I stepped up and just learning the game. IGLing, rookie season. I think honestly this whole season was just rough for me. I felt good shooting all you guys in the head, I'm not gonna lie. But it was definitely not easy in that regard.
You weren't shooting us when we 2-0'd you with 5 duelists though, weren't you?
Listen, man. You guys ruined us on the first map, alright? We were down.
No, it's all love. All right, awesome. So, all 4 of us here, we were fortunate enough to make playoffs. I'm going to go down the list. Are you guys happy with your placements? Are you disappointed with how things kind of ended? I mean, obviously, everyone in this call will be a little disappointed, bar Drisk. But are you just disappointed with things? Could you have gone further? Or just overall, how was the path to playoffs for you? And I'm going to start with Tavasi here.
I think we did pretty good. I said before we even played quarterfinals, I think in Apprentice chat that OS wins versus anybody in a best of 5, and the only chance they have to get knocked out is in a best of 3. So when we went into playoffs and weren't on the OS side, I was like, we have a chance to lose in a best of 5, basically, was my mindset. But I knew from, honestly, before I even got signed to High Tide, AC and OS were the 2 teams I was looking at that, I was like, these teams are probably not ever going to need to make roster changes, and they're probably already set into semis at least, which ended up being the case. Because I was familiar with a lot of players on both teams just from scouting in previous seasons or watching combines. But the way we played, I felt that I was really happy we were able to come back and with the second 2 maps against PN, and I feel like we could have probably had a little bit better icebox in those semis, but overall, I'm happy with how it went.
Yeah. We're gonna get into your semifinal performance here in a little bit. I do have a follow-up question for you though. Was I ever scouted by you? Was I ever on your radar when you were a GM? I'm curious.
I have the same question.
Chris,
What-
I was
don't.
aware of you.
Oh.
I don't remember if I ever really got the chance to scout VK though, because
Yeah,
I
please.
think either I lost my apprentice team or I had gotten so many players already on the team that a person of your MMR was
Yeah,
not really
that's true.
an option.
All right, so Imperial, how about you? How did you feel about your playoff run? And were you happy with your placements, or were you a little disappointed in how things turned out? Just overall, how were playoffs for you?
So it was. I'm not happy that we got first rounded at all, but I think with all the challenges that our team faced, it was fine. Also, maybe somewhat expected, but that honestly, them taking us to Icebox and us winning that first map, and I thought we were a shoo-in to go into the next round. I'm not gonna lie. I think winning on their map pick in OT, and on a map that we didn't play the entire season, didn't even look at ideas on how to even play it in general. I was really proud of that. At least my team kept their mental, but I was certainly, thank God I didn't have a camera on for that shit, because I was depressed. I was getting so upset. But no, I think all in all, I think the team did well. But yeah, definitely disappointed. Because I think personally, we could have gotten to finals against OS.
All right.
I think if we secured the Sunset game, I think it was over with our momentum, because we're so momentum based.
Right,
I think we are
absolutely.
one of the most momentum based teams. But anyway, what you ask, Tris?
I forgot. I said you were gonna play. I said you would have played us in semifinals, not finals.
Yeah.
Oh, in semis. I mean,
Yeah.
same thing. I think I was more interested in just taking you guys wherever we were. I think potentially upset. I think that would have been the most hyped game.
Yeah, I
Of
think
the-
we were definitely more scared of y'all than we were MF, because we were interested to see how y'all would have played. Because of course we played y'all on Breeze, which obviously wasn't a good map pick for y'all in regular season. And then Lotus was pretty close when we played y'all, but we still ended up winning that. So
Yeah, I think our mindset after that Breeze game was we don't care who it is. We're banning that. We're banning it. It's all good.
that makes sense.
All good. Yeah. But
So any big plans for next season? You guys come back with a vengeance? Actually, hold that answer. We're gonna talk about it when we
Okay.
get to you. Actually, I
okay.
rephrase that.
Okay.
All right, Jess, how about you? Oh,
I mean, yeah, we were really disappointed, but I mean, it wasn't a easy path. As everybody knows, we do have Legend on our team. Everybody kept asking me, "How do you think we're gonna do?" I was like, "Well, it depends. If we win or if we lose, it's because of Legend X. He's the X factor. If he plays well, gets his traits, and pushes through the smokes, we're gonna win. If he goes through the smokes and he dies, we're gonna lose. So like, it was all on him. I'm happy we got to contain him a little bit. He still went out and, explored a little bit, but it still worked
Explored.
out.
Explored is wild.
He got them kills. He sat a couple people down with some crazy shots. Like, they were insane when I saw them back. But hey, he did his thing and we pulled through.
Yeah. Shout out Legend X, man.
True.
One of the more tilting players to play against.
Yeah, we ended up telling people, like, if we don't know what Legend's doing, then neither are y'all.
Yeah.
Dude, he's so funny.
All right.
Like that guy.
Awesome. So we're going to start our kind of like spotlight segment here for everybody that's involved. We're going to go down from order of pretty much just placement in VDC. So we're going to start with this season's champion, this season's MVP, Mr. Drisk. So just for some accolades, not to gas him up, and this is gonna hurt me just as much as it's gonna hurt everybody else in this call.
Uh-huh.
So, with you were first in the league in defensive rating. You were the first in the league in KD. You were the first in the league in clutches, and of course now you are Apprentice Season 6 MVP. So, did you expect at any time throughout the season that this was going to be your title going into season? Or I said Season 6, going into Season 7.
I was so when I first got going through combines and everything, I did play in VDC back in season 1 and season 2. Apparently, I really don't remember season 2. I'm sorry, VK.
That's crazy. Teammates,
I
and doesn't even
do not
remember.
remember playing season 2. I really don't. I remember playing for PFC and that team, and we got smoked because we never had a fourth. And y'all remember you were like our perma sub.
Shout out PFC.
And I don't remember season 2. I really don't. But I remember I was an expert tier back then.
Yep.
It wasn't called expert then, but I was an expert then. So I was really surprised seeing every combine that I stayed in Apprentice. I was like, there's no way I stay in here. And then the draft happened and I was still in there. But watching the draft, I saw me going to second round. I was kind of confused. I was like, second round? I was like, dang. And I was like, all right, I'm making my mission to make every GM regret not picking me in the first round. That was like my mission. And then my MMR came out. I was like, 106 MMR? I was like, this is crazy. So yeah, I kind of made it my mission to like make myself known in the league, but at the same time I feel like that's really hard to do as a Sentinel player, because like your job is just to hold down a site and on offense lurk, but I ended up making my lurks be very impactful, and people started being like scared of my lurks on other teams.
Yeah, agreed. And like I said, playing with you, when I saw that you were an apprentice and didn't get moved back up, I was like, I mean, I'm not going to complain, because like I said, I welcome challenge. I welcome, really good players in the tier. I think Apprentice is one of the more exciting tiers out of VDC. So to have you stay down, I was like, oh, this is awesome. I get to play against my boy Drisk. But then on the flip side, I was like, oh, fuck, I got to play against my boy Drisk. you proved yourself to be a very, very big, easy top 3 players in the tier. Obviously top 1 if you're MVP. But Royal will always say that he's number 1. So unfortunately, you get the runner up there, Drisk. So
I got the community runner up too.
All right. So you were a pivotal part of OS. Do you think that OS was the right team for you, or do you think that you could have walked on to any organization and still had the same impact?
I feel like my impact went around, like, would have went to many organizations. Like, I feel like just my playstyle as a Sentinel is somebody you can just, like, rely on. And I got, like, a lot of my lurks weren't even, like, getting kills. It was more so just getting information from my team. Just, hey, we can rotate here. There's people leaving here. Like, we can take this space. So I feel like that's good for a lot of teams. But at the same time, there's different teams have different type of playstyles. Like, I know y'all run, like, a lot of double duels. You like to run it down pretty fast and do stuff like that. So I don't know if my playstyle would have worked on y'all team. So it kind of worked out. It was on OS where Legend would just go out and die first, and then I would just go and clean up everything.
Nice. Shout out Legend X. I'm gonna keep saying shout out because he's getting a lot of strays.
He's gonna hate me hearing this back, but I don't. He's gonna hate me. I'm actually on a race with him to trying to get this in, and he's beating me. He's D3 and I'm D1. So
that's insane. That's insane.
That guy might get moved up to expert too just because he has a center.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to deal with that next season. Anyway. So, a final question for you. You can't say yourself. I kind of want to bar TK from this answer as well, but I'm gonna allow it. Who do you think was the most influential part of OS?
Influential.
And you can't say yourself, because I'm not gonna lie. You single-handedly won them some games. I'm gonna put that out there. I love OS, but you did seriously single-handedly win them some games.
I'm trying to think. I mean, influential. I think it's like
a
weird word, but it's probably Legend, to be honest. Like, I know how crazy that might sound, but we had games like against y'all on that Icebox in the second match day we played y'all, or not second match day, but second time we played y'all.
Yeah.
Legend gets pissed if the team doesn't perform good, and when I say the team, I mean everybody else but him. So it like told us, like, oh, we gotta play better so Legend doesn't tilt, or like we gotta like it's like a kind of like a backhanded thing, but like he kind of like, and then he also grinded a lot and gave us tips and stuff. So like he may seem like like not a good person, like mentally sometimes for some people, but like he really helped out our team. So I'll probably get most influential to him.
Nice, nice. Shout out Legend X. All right, awesome, awesome. So we'll come back to you here at the end of the tier. We're gonna move on to Vasi next. So you did end up taking the third place season overall, or sorry, not seating overall. And unfortunately, your run did come to an end to the former champions of KC. What were your goals for this season, and what were you able to achieve them? And just kind of how do you feel that this season went overall for you? I know we kind of already touched on this a little bit, but this is your time to go a little bit more in depth.
Yeah, so the only goal I personally had this season was to be the first player to hit 2,000 kills lifetime for VDC, which happened.
Nice.
If I didn't slump at the end of the season, I probably would have hit 2,500, but alas, did not happen. So along with that, I spent the first week and a half, maybe 2 weeks of the actual season not signed because just my MMR was so high and I did not play well in combines. So I was mostly just happy to get on a team and be able to get those consistent games in. Um, and I think with all the roster changes High Tide had to make this season, I was pretty happy with where we were able to end up. So, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, you guys did have to go through unfortunate roster changes. And again, we're actually going to talk about that here. My next question, though, that'll be the question after this. But my next question is, you guys were really a force to be reckoned with throughout the season, yet you all kind of like moved in silence. We didn't really hear much about High Tide when we're looking at these power rankings, and we didn't looking at like people's tier in reviews or Substacks. Bar VK because I had you guys going all the way. And so do you feel like your team was a little bit underestimated this season?
I think we were fairly estimated at the start when we had Ninja, and a lot of people respected him. But I hadn't played in the tier last season. I think Banjo is new this season. And Banjo turned out to be a very influential player on our team. So I think just the names weren't out there prior to the season, so people weren't really watching for them as the season went on, which is probably the main reason. I mean, Petrichor won last season in Prospect, and he definitely had games where he pushed us over the line when we otherwise probably wouldn't have. And I think every player on our team had games where people popped off, and there was no real consistent like top ever. I feel like we always had a revolving door of people who played really well one map or another, however. So,
and you could argue that's actually something that you look for within your teams, and I think that's what makes teams like all of us sitting in here. I think that's what makes our teams so successful is like we have those we individually might have inconsistent games, but then we always have our teammates that we could fall back on. And I think that's actually a really huge thing for a franchise here in VDC. So I definitely do agree with you. You guys did surprise us a lot this season. So you said you lost one ninja. That's going to be my next question. You lost one of the backbones of your team in one ninja. What difficulties did this provide? And then what solutions did you put in place to make sure that these problems didn't arise in the future?
Well, with Ninja, he was kind of. I had just come onto the roster a few weeks prior, so I was just kind of getting settled in. Him and I both play similar roles in Duelist Sentinel. I'm more agent specific. I think he's more role specific. So I'd say he was a better fit overall in that regard. But I think we just had a lot of roster changes mid-season. So I don't think we ever really got to the point where, well, no, that's not true. I'd say there was probably close to the end of the season, right when we had to make the Ben 10 swap. I felt like we were getting finally cemented in our roles. which is unfortunate for how that all played out. But we ended up doing all right anyways. But yeah, I think just we had to keep swapping roles a lot, and there was a lot of flex players on the team that we had to work with that. Like Banjo is comfortable on Duelist, Initiator, Sentinel, even some off smokes, and Petri's fine on Sentinel, smokes. It's just, and Aki can really play any role but Duelist if they want to. And I mean, we just had a lot of people who kind of could bounce around if they needed to, but we didn't really have like a strong like core sense of self, I guess, throughout most of the season, just because we were trying a lot of stuff, bouncing around a lot, and that's why a lot of our games I feel like were 1-1s. We got some 2-0s in towards the end, but the majority of our season was like 1-1 games where we were trying something one map and maybe going back to more usual stuff the next. But I feel like we kind of all stepped up, and that's part of the revolving door of high scoring players on different maps and different scenarios where we played as a team more than as individual players.
Yeah, and that's awesome. You already answered my last question, so I'm going to pivot to another question. So you and I, our franchises were 2 out of the, I believe, 4, maybe 3 franchises that did have to promote from Prospect. You had Petrichor, we had Otter, and then Blundering was from LG. Those are the 3 that I'm aware. So if I'm missing you, I'm so sorry. I apologize. So I resonate with you saying how it's actually kind of crazy. There were games where these promoted players that came from Prospect really held their own in Apprentice. So how was I guess helping Petrichor find his footing in the Apprentice tier? Did you guys find any hiccups with that, or did he kind of just, or did they just kind of take to it right away?
I felt like, well, like granted, I missed the first couple of games, so I don't know if there was like any hiccups in preseason or the first couple of weeks that they had to iron out with that. But Petri, he was a big help in our overarching like understanding of how we wanted to play rounds or how we wanted to play setups. Whenever we were looking into specific team compositions, he's very cerebral in that regard, I'd say. So I'd almost put him as like the mastermind behind the plans, but
maybe
I don't know
mid-game IGL, maybe.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
do have to ask you for your reaction about on Sunset when he shot his teammate. Did that like?
Was that our game? Was that our game?
I don't know if that was. I think it was against y'all.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know if you remember what I'm talking about, but he like walked out into the back lane and he turned around and just shot his teammate.
Yeah, that there is situations like that. I have had my own fair share of things. I'm glad we're not streamed.
Unfortunately, that was caught on stream. That's why
it was so bad. Oh man, I felt so bad for that.
It's okay. If Petrichor, if you're watching this, we had a situation where we were taking. It was also on Sunset. Maybe Sunset is bad luck. Where Jam was on top box as Omen, and Trico popped ult, and Karan goes top box. So Trico goes in, blindly turns, shoots the Raze rocket right into Jam. You just hear Jam go, "Don't ult me!" as he's fighting other people. It was so
I saw
funny.
that clip. I saw that.
So Petrichor, you're not alone. You're not alone.
Sure.
All
Albert Gecko ulting Zon on Sunset too, backside.
Bro, Sunset is cursed.
Sunset's so cursed.
I'm wrong with
Sunset is so cursed.
All right, and then finally in our showcase we have Imperial from PA. So again, I'm going to start off kind of with something very similar that I asked Tavasi. So PA was one of those teams that made a late push into playoffs, and you guys were really moving in silence. It seemed like you guys were kind of coming up through the ranks, and a lot of people were not really talking about PA being a top tier, almost like club. Talking about watching too much soccer, top tier franchise. Do you guys feel as if you guys were slightly like underestimated going into match days?
No, we didn't care. We on like I'm not even like gonna sugarcoat. No one looked in Apprentice chat. I was the only one, along with Zon towards the end. No one looked in Apprentice chat.
I think you
Nobody
pinged you.
Hmm?
I said I think you didn't talk to her until I pinged you one day.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I can't be bothered, and because I have too much going on in that game. I have to learn the game. There's no time for drama. I don't care. Like if people want to start drama with us, go ahead. You're not gonna get anything out of us.
Yo,
that's just who PA was this season. I don't know about previous seasons. I know our Mythic team talks a ton of shit in the Mythic chat.
I think it's just Mythic. I think it's just Mythic.
Yeah, it could definitely just be Mythic. But like honestly, because like just like HT and I'm sure like a lot of other teams, we had to go through like our cuts and our revolving door wasn't at one time. So like, you know, our team was Alfred, Chikati, Bobber, Thunder, myself, and then it turned into Alfred having to leave. He had to step down due to like work reasons, whatever. So then we got Smolika. And then, you know, we did a couple weeks there. And then, you know, Shikati had to step down either for kids or for work or both or whatever. So then we got Zon, although shout out Zon, what an insane pickup. And then like I had to step into IGL and everything. And at the same time, I'm getting tips from our Mythic team because I want to be good at the game. I hated getting O2'd every game or like barely 1-1 in game. So like I'm practicing, I'm putting in hours. Like, I think I finished the battle pass with 40 days left on the battle pass because, like, I had to play because I was playing that much, you know, like, and I think I went from like gold 2 to plat 3 in the entire like end of the season or whatever. So like, yeah, there's just no time for us to worry about what others think of us, and also I don't really care. Like, I'm a rookie. You guys want to shit on the rookie? Go ahead. I don't care.
Damn. All right. Wow. I love that. Those are bold statements. I love it. All right. So you guys did have a really rough start to this season with one of those games being a 13-0. I don't.
Yeah. Dude,
but going into that, just again, not to bring it up, your record.
No, I don't care.
Your record was 2-8 in your first 10 matches. So you went from 2-8 and with one of the losses being a 13-0, and you brought it up to the 5th seed, which is good for a playoff slot. Okay, so what did you feel that you needed to change, and what made the like mentality shift? Because PA, I don't want to say was viewed as like the 10th seed, but like, you know, PA was viewed like, they're gonna have a really rough season. What did you put into place that you were able to kind of turn the season around in the second half and get into the playoffs?
Me, nothing. The team, we picked up Zon.
Fair.
Literally, no, because here's the thing. I love Thunder. He's a great dude. Him as a duelist is one of those players where like he needs someone to go in with him. We played in those first 10 matches. He was our solo duelist. And because like in my mind, the way that this game is that if you have to shoot more things, like from an initiator, or you have to dodge more things, you only need one duelist. In like the perfect scenario, I think. And so, but with that, you get some players like Thunder who it's really rough to have that pressure of being the solo entry. Yeah. Like you can tell them, or like you can tell any duelist, like, hey, go in, die, make space. We don't care that you're dead. We care that we have the space. We will trade you. But to put that into perspective, it's like on the player then, because I am a self-critic to the fullest. So absolutely. Like if I'm in that position, right, and I'm like, okay, well, I want to at least get one to help my team. Like if they're gonna trade me, I want to make it easy for them. I want to at least get one. And I feel like when we didn't have a second duelist or someone to get aggressive with him, like Zon, it was way more rough because he didn't know when to go in. Also, our communication was shit. In those early matches, I probably playing Gecko or whatever, like flashed out and then ran, and I see like all 4 of my teammates behind me, like, what the hell are you doing? And so it's just like, no. We brought up the communication, and then we picked up someone to go and get aggressive with Thunder. Yeah. Make him comfortable.
And it was really good to see because PA has personally been one of my favorite franchises. So to see PA constantly, you know, at least in the Apprentice tier last season and the season before, go through some growing pains. I was really happy to see you guys make that late run and to get into playoffs. And especially when you had, again, you said you weren't really reading Apprentice chat, which probably was for the best. But to see
stuff in there.
To see some of the heavy hitter franchises, talk down on certain other franchises, and then to see those heavy hitter franchises not make playoffs, and to see you guys make it, it has always been like I love that type of stuff. I
want to go back and read it. I want to call people out now.
There's a lot of arguments in there.
A lot of arguments.
Yeah. A lot of arguments.
And but on the flip side, I want you to realize that there is a difference between critiquing and arguments. So I've covered my own ass there on that one. I'll just put that out there.
Okay, VK. All right.
But like I said,
mentions PA from user VK. Nice.
But no. So is there any like plans that you going forward? Because I believe you did say that you are a rookie in this league, correct? So are you planning on? Do you think PA is your home? Do you think PA is going to be? Oh,
I mean, like in my view of it, like I've done this every time I go into like a league like this. I don't like to stay in one area. I don't like to get comfortable. I like there to be change because I like to adapt and then overcome like challenges of different players. And also I just know for a fact that like 2/3 of my team is not coming back.
Okay.
So because most of us were college kids. We had 2 boomers on our team. Like
whoa.
We had Alfred and Shikati who are our boomers. So it's like they had work stuff and they left midseason. Thunder's probably gonna stay, but like I said, other members of my team are either going back to college or they're getting promotions at work or whatever. So they're probably not coming back.
Okay.
And I don't want to be at a PA without them, realistically.
Fair.
Like I loved my team this season. But I want a new team. I want to see like what I can do. But I also want to like not be an IGL. I don't want to be the captain. I just want to focus on being a Senti, improving as a Senti or an Innie, and just like finding somewhere like that. Plus, hopefully, not saying I will, but if I get moved up to expert, I don't really want to fight anyone on PA for the expert slots. I'd rather go somewhere and fight somewhere else for those expert slots.
Gotcha.
I don't want PA blood. I want other people's blood.
Wow. All right. So
go ahead. I find it interesting you say you play Sentinel because I swear maybe just these 2 maps, Lotus, that Zom plays Sentinel, he plays KJ, and then on Sense, Malika plays Sentinel.
Well, yeah, so it's only on those maps.
Okay.
Sunset, I'm Cypher. On Split, I'm Cypher. On Breeze, I'm Cypher.
Gotcha.
On Icebox, I'm Chamber.
Shout out Chamber Icebox. I think that's 3 of us.
Shout out Chamber Icebox. So like I don't know, because I fell into that Senti role. I initially, when I joined the league, I put myself as duelist because because I was so new to the game that I had heard from like watching a Tens like short or whatever that their job is just to get in there and die and get space. And I was like, perfect. I can just learn how to do that and then learn the rest of the game as I play the season. But then I kind of just learned how to play Senti and then learned the game. So
Sentinel is definitely the easiest role to learn.
It's so free. It's so free.
Yeah. All right, awesome. So we're going to bring it all back together, and this is what everybody has been waiting for. I know, because this is where tea is going to get spilled. This is where people are going to maybe call out some people. Maybe, we're gonna start off with basically how we're going to think who our awards are, if you guys must. So obviously we did have a community vote. However, this is our time to get our opinions out here. And again, I think these are 3 individuals that aren't really super vocalized on their opinions as much as some other people, included, like myself included, because I voice my opinion maybe too much.
UTK.
So maybe it's just things that like end with K. Maybe it's just like
Yeah,
those
true.
names. I don't know. So let's start off. Who do you guys think was your underrated? Now you guys can have different answers, and we're just gonna podcast it. So underrated.
Yep.
Who you got? Who you guys picking?
Underrated. So I have two.
Okay, go ahead.
So my first one would be Honda.
Yeah.
The sleep. She was, especially for being called up from prospect, played like a way above their value in my opinion. Like they played amazing. And the other person for me was Smalika.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I say Smalika is because her on Clove, I'm not sure if Smalika is a girl, I'm just assuming it is.
She is.
Okay, but Smalika on her Clove, she plays like legend and it's scary because when she has her ult, she's on go mode. And I was just watching games and she's just killing everybody with no regard because she has ult. Like just pushing things you shouldn't be pushing, and it works because nobody's expecting you to push it. So those are definitely my two for underrated.
Those are two great answers. Two great answers. Totally not KC biased on Otter, but anyway, what do you guys have?
I think I would actually probably agree with the Smalika one because we did trial them for a bit, and the games I played with them were just is like they'd randomly just like be in a fight with 3 people and win, and I was like,
She's so good.
it's just like okay, go, you just win those rounds. Okay, go for it.
Imperial, who are you saying?
Yeah, he's about to say it now.
It's rough because I want to say me, but like I'm not going to.
Back yourself.
Going to. I would and I'm not gonna say Smalika either, only because so her and Bobbert are actually like really good friends. And so I knew she was good when she came on because Bobbert really wanted her. And so them as a duo, dude, them on a duo is unstoppable. Like when they're both controller players. So they're setting each other up too, and it's insane. Man, I don't know. Dude, let me look at the player list real quick. Because again, I don't look at players, dude. I don't look at players. I had focused my entire energy on me, myself, and I this season.
While you're looking it up, I'm gonna give my answers.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give my answers. So I obviously have Otter, Honda Sleep.
Sure.
Because I mean, the clip that solidified it for me, right, was the play. Maybe it was against High Tide in the on Bind.
I think that was MF.
Was it MF?
Yeah.
That movement.
Yeah.
Was like no bullshit pro level movement to get a 4K clutch, a 1v4 clutch to win the round, and it was absolutely sublime. I remember, like, typically when we all clutch or we all have hype moments, we all go crazy, you know, the typical VK's house, like all that shit. But when that happened, we all just stayed still and spawned because all of us just had our jaw on the ground, and we were like, where did this come from? And she just built off of every performance. So I want to give it to her. I want to give an honorable mention, again, Casey bias, to Serb. He came in really late into the season, but put in performances that were like jam level performances, and he disclosed to us, and he won't care that we say this, but he disclosed to us that like we were the first team to show interest in him. So he really wanted to give it his all, and he wanted to make sure that he goes out there and plays his best. And that mentality is just like so undefeated. Like I said that in the interview after the semifinals that Serb, and then we had Byzantine sub for the semis, and those two individuals just came in with a monster mindset of, listen, I'm playing for KC. I might not be playing for KC next season, or I might not be a full-time KC member, but I want to give them the win. I want to put everything that I got into this. So I want to give a shout out to Serb. Now, if I'm moving away from KC, I'm going to do a little bit of a dark horse here. And I think a lot of people did not expect this to happen for me to say, but I'm going to go rebrand it to Fry, but I'm going to go Gardaboss because he was so detrimental to L7, so incredible for L7, and I think unfortunately the L7 setup just didn't work for anybody really on that organization, on that franchise. I think they struggled to really put up numbers, but Gar had a fantastic season, and I think he doesn't get talked about enough. So I'm gonna go Gar.
Damn.
All right, Imperial, what you got?
So mine are CRM and Quazen.
Quazen!
Really?
Shout out
Yeah.
Quazen!
Yeah, I think for me personally, because I viewed off of the people like who I always saw like killed by, and for me, I think CRM and Quazen were some of the top two for me on who were killing me a
Absolutely.
bunch. I think if I look at the after game report and I see I went even with you, you're not even in my head anymore. But if I see that like I lost like by 2 kills to them, they're in my head for next game.
Oh yeah.
And I think a lot of the time it was those two that I was seeing like I'm down 2, I'm down 1, like even 1 even. I need to at least go even with someone or just be better than them. Like for me, it has to be like that.
I gotta
Yeah.
pull up our head-to-head stats now. I'm curious.
I mean, do it.
All right. So, who would you say the MVP is besides Drisk? Besides Drisk, who would you give MVP to?
Zon. Not biased, just because I think he was one of the more impactful players and the league outside of like Drisk or anyone really on OS, because he literally brought back our season.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that can be argued. Like the fact that we were like kind of drowning and then we get one player and all of a sudden we're on our way to playoffs, I think that deserves MVP.
Yeah, I definitely
Personally.
think he's under argument. I think the only thing was just his maps play.
No,
didn't
of
have
course.
enough. So yeah,
Of course,
if he
of
had
course,
enough
of course.
maps, he definitely would have been in the conversation.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I mean, I just look back at our Ascent game against, I think it was you guys VK, where I dropped 30. Anyway, and he was holding B main with a Deagle only and fucking got 3 on that
Yeah.
round. I was like, damn. Okay. But yeah, menace.
I feel like the MVP conversation was tough. Like there was like a lot of people you could have put up there, but
Mhm.
I feel like the names that like most people would say would be like Royal, Brimmy. But I feel like everybody's just discounted Brimmy because they finished like in last place in the tier. So like you can't really give it to him, and he even admitted like, "Hey, I shouldn't get it because I didn't do like our
Wait,
team
no
did that
shot.
well."
LG finished last.
Yeah, they finished last.
No, they did.
Yeah.
Losers.
There was also like debates of TK being in there, but TK missed time. But there was like TK, like you could see his impact when he wasn't there. So like MVP.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to like pick. Like I don't know who. Like it's so many debates who you want to debate. Like even Legend is a debate. I was actually surprised to see Jim in the conversation. Like actually, it really surprised me to see that he was a runner up. So shout out to him. He's had some stats that I didn't see.
True. Yeah.
I know I was racing with him for clutches. If he didn't have like left view, he might have got clutches over me.
Yeah.
Dude, I still can't over 0.01 is the difference between him and I's attack rating.
That's crazy.
0.01.
That's crazy. Tavasi, who you feeling, bro? Who do you think is your MVP?
That it's honestly, I had always kind of probably put it up to either Drisk or Terrakid getting it. But I think Jam did have a really good season, so I could also definitely put them up there. I don't think that was really something I was even aware of throughout the season. I think they were definitely a player I did not have my eye on probably as much as I should have. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. MVP was so hard this season. Season. I'm not gonna lie, I did set out a little challenge for myself to get MVP, and it was pretty much like I knew I was gonna get it going into like match day 4. Like I just knew I was cooked. So I really didn't think about it. So I'm not gonna say myself. Obviously, I do back myself, but I don't back myself. I'm not arrogant. I don't I don't want to say that. But no, I would. Oh man. I don't know. Part of me, this is gonna be a wild conversation. This is gonna be a wild, like out there pick. I have 2 actually. I'm gonna give one to Queenie, because I really feel like
Yeah.
Queen Bee
Yeah.
put in the work for Cassiopeia and for PN, and I mean they both have an attack and defensive rating over 1. They have 528 kills, not playing a duelist, playing mainly controller. They have a 71.8% cast, and just seeing where and 22 clutches, and just seeing the improvement that she had. I do think that she should have been more in conversation for it. So I'm gonna give Queenie her flowers, and I'm also gonna give Tavasi their flowers because
Oh yeah.
Tavasi again is one of those individuals who I don't think is spoken enough in the Apprentice chat. And every time we played High Tide and every time we played against Tavasi, you know who was fucking killing me? Tavasi. No one else on that team could kill me except Tavasi. And oh my god, I really wish I was streaming the semifinals because every time I died, it was Tavasi. You look at the head v heads or duels or whatever. I was positive on every single one except Tavasi. And Tavasi, it was like 2-7. And I'm like, I can't kill him. I can't kill them. It's horrific. So I'm gonna give Tavasi their flowers as well, and I'm gonna say Tavasi should have been in the conversation a little bit more. Not just saying that because they're at the call. Just putting that out there.
I appreciate it.
Real.
All right. And before we just go all out, and before we talk about anything we want to talk about, who do you think was the most surprising player? So what I mean by that is this could be good or bad. Who is someone that you maybe were surprised about, or like I said, pretty much good or bad. They had a great season, or maybe something that you expected a lot from, and they had kind of a mid or bad season. Just for funsies. Don't take it personal. It's fine.
Sure, yeah.
For funsies. So just go ahead and open it up.
For me, most surprising was absolutely Otter, because the last time I really watched Otter play was on my prospect contender team in season 4. So from that to a player who is, I think, basically diffed me in final or semis, I was pretty surprised at the growth from her. So yeah,
All
definitely
right.
Otter for me.
Shout out Otter. Getting mentioned a lot on this pod.
For me, it'll probably be Whale.
Oh.
I'll say first time we played TT, it was when Spent was going under Insanity run, and
Yeah.
Spent was always at the top of the leaderboards. Everybody's scared of Spent. They were like #1 player of the tier and all of that good stuff. And then we play them, and their lurks are up there with mine and my fan. They have some insane lurks, and that they surprised me and really caught my attention. I became a friend of after we played them because I was like, hey, your lurks are up there, like. And then I think they got a 4K on us with an op, and I almost clutched a 1v5 and I choked it, but I hate Crazy Forever because of that. But yeah, I'd probably give it to Whale for surprising.
Yeah, I feel bad because Whale, the only reason why I genuinely believe Whale didn't do well against KC was just because I was teammates with Whale in MVA, and him and I literally read each other like books, and it's just so unfortunate because even he admitted it was like, if it comes down to an aim duel, like I'm losing all day. But I was just able to kind of expose Whale, but he's a fantastic player. Dude, so much love for Whale. He's awesome. So I like that. I like that answer a lot. Imperial, who you going with?
God, it's rough.
You don't know anybody.
I don't know anyone. Yeah, I don't know
But like
anybody.
when you like how I did for mine, because I haven't played in a while here. Like when you played somebody, like who surprised you the most? Like dang, like.
Well, I mean that's rough though too, because it's like I was genuinely surprised by the skill level of this tier specifically, because me thinking into it, like we're the second lowest, right, in the terms of tiers and everything. So in my mind, I was like, okay, the probably quality of life of this tier is not great. Like it's whatever. But I mean, I was surprised by a lot of like players doing well. Dude, I don't know. Like let's just go with Royal. Sure, Royal's a menace, dude. Like, I remember like going against MF. Whenever I play any team, I try and find the player that like I personally just want to beat. Like if I see them, I want to kill them. And for me, that was like Royal. Anytime I played MF, mainly because of the amount of shit he talks in Apprentice chat. So it's like if I like, and not saying that it's anything bad, but it's like, dude, if I can just make this guy just like be like, oh shit, watch out for this guy, like he shits on me, then I'm like, okay, cool, doing my job. So I think sure, Royal. He surprised me like, and a lot of this here, being able to fight back, being able to just fire back with accuracy. Honestly, not bad.
Yeah, I mean, all great answers. I'm trying to stir some drama up by saying someone that I think was surprisingly, but again, like no one really played poorly. You know what? I'm gonna cop out. I'm gonna say myself. I expected more out of myself this season.
Okay.
I'm gonna cop out. I expected more out of myself this season.
You suck.
But you know, I think it is what it is. I think I had a respectable season. No, I mean, those are all great answers. So I'm gonna open it up to the floor. We're running out of time here, coming up on the hour line. So let all safety's off. Let's talk. What is something you guys want to talk about? This is the Apprentice Tier In review. What is something you want to call someone out? You want to make a statement? Do you want to say a hot take? Anything you guys want to talk about? Now's the time.
I mean, I feel like the most controversial thing we could talk about easily is Royal's tiers list.
We could talk about Royal's tiers
I'm not
list.
sure if you ever looked at them, Imperial, since you didn't really look at the chat.
I did a few
But,
times. Yeah.
I think every single tier list that dropped, Royal was at number 1. Like, didn't
Oh,
move
you
at
mean
all.
that one? Yeah. No.
Yeah. His placement never moved, which is kind of crazy to me. And he always had his
Dude.
teammates. He usually had at least one other teammate in the top 5 and another one in the top 10. And for whatever reason, I never made it into the top 10. So what is that saying?
True.
I don't know.
True.
Very true.
Let's see. Hold on. Let me look up one of his, because I think I was never in the top 10 either. Not saying I should have been, but I definitely think he had some wild takes. For sure. Let's see if I can find. Yeah, I think anything without I honestly think anything without you or TK being anywhere in the top 10, it was definitely a mistake. For sure.
I think his last tier list, I have it right here.
Yeah, I think we're trying to pull it up. I think we're all trying to pull it up.
Yeah, the last tier list has VK at 3, has Tavasi at 8, me at 11, Imperial at 18.
Wild.
I'm not sure.
Wait, did you say you were at 11?
Yeah, I was at 11.
Okay.
he keeps you on the edge. He keeps you on the edge.
That was the closest I ever got to touch. I think I was like 17 or 14 before then.
Like I will gladly take the 3rd place. Okay, I will gladly take the 3rd place. However, it depends on who's above me and those other.
Let's see. It was probably Royal.
I think it was Royal and Searing, was it not?
Probably.
Drag.
Drag.
It
Yeah,
was Royal and Drag, and then when Drag got off the team, they said that.
Did you notice that?
Whoever they brought in, they were like, yeah, Drag dropped, and then also they said the person that they brought in was on the same level as Drag. I'm like, as the same level as the number 2 player? I was like, I guess.
Crazy.
To be fair, Searing did have a great season. Searing did have a great season.
I agree. Searing was at 7 on that list.
But it's crazy. Just I'm just calling him out a little bit here. Drag leaves MF and then never sees a top 10 ever again. So just put that out there. Shout out Drag. Sorry, I forgot to put you in my.
I don't know if there wasn't. I gotta find out if there was another list after Drag left. But
well, dude, and then okay, me at 18 out of how many plays? First of all, how many plays
out of 50? I believe
50.
Yeah,
50. Okay, so 18 out of 50.
Oh my! You said it again.
18 out of 50. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I mean, 91 MMR, like one of the lower ends in Apprentice. Sure, bro. Sure. I guess I can take 18.
I mean, no disrespect
still dropped 20
to Move, but Move got placed as number 10 as a new spot.
Wild.
Above me.
Wild.
In that
no.
list.
I'll say wholeheartedly. I shit on Moved every time I see them. Like, that's wild. I'm sure there'll be some clips. That they'll be like, but this time. But then I just hit scoreboard and I'm pretty sure I'm dropping 20 on their team. Like, bro, like that's insane that they're above me. And also that's another thing I developed getting in this league. You have to develop an ego. I feel like too, though. Like to be able to fight in matches, I think you have to develop a little bit of an ego.
Okay, are you saying ego within Valorant?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I mean, like
Within
ego
Valorant.
peeking people.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
of
yeah.
course,
Okay,
of
okay.
course. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
thought
yeah.
you meant
Like,
an ego in the tier chat because I'm gonna
No,
go
no.
out on a limb and say don't get an ego with the tier chat because once
No,
you get
dude,
egos
having
in
an
tier
ego-
chat, you're done.
No,
You're cooked.
having an ego in the tier chat's so dumb. It's like, like that's why I didn't say anything. We were like the last place team every time. If I had said anything in there other than, hey man, I'm not expecting to win, but if we do, that's great. And we lose, I'm getting cooked in the comments. Bro, like I'm not
Fair.
here for that. I'm not here
Yeah.
for that. But I will absolutely. You drop a smoke, I'm walking through that shit, bro. Like you're done.
do any of you guys? I think Tavasi might be the only one that might remember. Does anyone remember the VK Royal Beef of last season?
I was
Yeah,
I was
dude.
aware of it.
Yeah, I remember it.
It was bad. So that's why I was saying about the ego in the tier chat.
Yeah,
'cause-
it's completely different. I think having an ego in game is 100% different than having an ego outside of game.
yeah. Shout out Royal though. Him and I are boys now, so we're chilling. Just some takes.
I had a crazy beef moment
With Brimmy, bro.
Yeah, and me, and the crazy part about it, me and Brimmy went to play golf last
I
weekend.
know.
That's so funny. Hey,
was great.
remember that
Really
comment you made in
crazy
Apprentice
beef.
chat? Actually, +1 stroke. Actually, I saw you take an extra stroke. +1. Mark it on the scorecard, bro.
That was crazy because like me and Brimmy were like the best of friends, but we were like
Yeah.
you would think we hated each other after that conversation we had.
I
We were
literally thought you
beefing.
guys had beef. I literally thought you had beef. 'Cause
I was genuinely confused on why I was getting yelled at. I was just confused. I was like, "What is he mad about?"
I was like,
can we talk?
I was in Brimmy's
Can we
DMs. I
also
was like,
talk
relax. You're good. Don't worry about it.
Or can we also talk about the beef apparently that people are having with the transaction committee in our
let's
in
not- we're not
Apprentice?
Well, we're not bringing that up. 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 We're not
We
bringing
gotta
that
cut
up.
that out.
We're not bringing. Yeah, we're cutting that. Cut that. We're not bringing that up. We're not
You
bringing
can't
that up.
talk about
You
that.
can't.
Oh, okay.
It's
Oh,
ongoing, I bet.
Yeah, there's a lot of
It's
stuff
so
happening
good.
because of that. We can't talk about that.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is because of that situation, just make sure you vote VK for admin. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, okay, sure.
It wouldn't be the
Yeah.
first time I've, made some rules happen in VDC. I'll just say that.
I will say that team that y'all have now would have did some destruction had y'all
Yeah.
contacted MF
Yeah.
a little bit earlier about drag. Got y'all a little trade in or something.
If we had gotten the chance to actually our game against PN was our first actual
Yeah.
5 as a team.
And drag carried y'all third map. I don't want to say that, but it carried y'all third map.
Yeah.
Bro, I think people who are afraid to say that some team got carried by one of their own team members, that's just wild, dude. Like you had a teammate perform so well that the other 4 didn't have to do shit. Like, bro,
Yeah.
say that with your chest, dude. Like, yeah, we got that dog on our team. We
Yo.
got that guy. Watch out.
I'm not gonna lie,
That was-
it felt so awkward when Royal and Trico were going back together or going back and forth today about how VK carried semifinals, and I'm like, guys, no, I didn't. Please, yes, I know, I know, I dropped 77 across 3 maps. I understand that, but on the flip side, I have teammates. I play with my team. I love all my teammates. Please stop saying that I carry because I don't. Please, I hate it. I hate it. It just makes me feel awkward.
That's why when people were talking to me in apprenticeship, I'd be like, "Yeah, dude, Appear, you're so good." And I'm just like, "Okay, what about the other 4 members of my team?" Like, I'm hiding on a site behind a corner with a phantom and my ratty one ways or my ratty trips, dude. Like, I don't know what you mean. The other 4 are going through a war zone. I get to frolic through the flowers and kill you guys in the back. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, you did good enough to make an all-star team, I think, right? You're on the
That's true.
all-star
Yeah,
list.
me and Zon are the PA All Stars for sure.
It's all 4 of us, right?
The Tavasi didn't make it.
Tavasi gets
Yeah.
snubbed,
No high tide
So-
player made
Yeah,
it.
no high time.
No high
that's
tide player?
hilarious.
Yeah.
That's actually
Yeah.
tough look.
Yeah.
The closest, I mean, they had 2 people just miss out on it, and Dragon, Ninja.
Is it in community announcements with the print? Yeah, okay. So
We put a
Zon,
breakdown of it
Remy.
in
Oh wait.
Nah,
So
Brim-
Zon,
Remy-
Remy,
playing the
DK,
season, apparently.
Cozy, myself, TK, Jam, Legend X. Hold on. Let's count out the OS players again. 3? Wild. Favoritism? Maybe.
Oh my god! Hey, we
One MF player?
We posted the breakdown so people could see the voting, so you can't call it rigged. That's all I'm saying.
No,
Can't call it rigged.
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised I made All Stars Day because like I figured it was a popularity contest. That's why I view all All-Star events, dude. It's a popularity contest.
I mean, yeah,
I didn't
that's
think
what
I
I'm
would get that
saying,
many
yeah.
votes.
I
I didn't
like
think I'd get
people,
that
you know what I
many.
mean? It's like, well, why is this not Saturday? It's not like it's the All-Star game. It's not all pro
True,
teams.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
what people want to see.
Yeah,
So-
so we're gonna have some cool things coming down the pipeline for the All-Star games. AKA, we might be having in-game interviews. While
Ooh, okay.
yeah, we're trying to work
Mic'd
something
up?
out. Yeah, little mic'd up moment. I'm trying to work something
That's
out
so
about that.
funny.
So
Well,
People are
okay.
gonna be
Also,
pissed.
so who's so how when's like is there gonna be a draft? Okay, yeah, there is. So when is that happening?
We can talk about it after the
Okay,
video.
I could. do-
special announcements.
Driz, first pick.
All right. So, with all of that being said, I'm going to open the floor for each and every one of you one more time just to say if you wanted to say anything, we're going to wrap it up and then we will see you guys next time for the expert and the mythic tier in reviews. So, again, I'm going to go down from just seating and then I'm going to end with myself. So, Drisk, floor is yours for any closing comments.
I had a great time in VDC. I do not know yet if I will be playing next season, as you know, life will be happening. So who knows what will happen? But if I do, I would look forward to playing again. Had a great time this season, regarding all the drama, but fun time.
Yeah. Man drops MVP performance and then leaves the
That's
league.
what I was saying, dude.
Crazy.
MVP and out. Quit while you're ahead.
Crazy.
It's just a
so-
side mission. It's just a
Side mission. That's insane.
Side quest.
To Vasi, anything that you would like to say?
Just I had a really great team this season, and I have no idea if I'll be back either, but we'll have to see.
Damn. Man, everyone's freaking leaving. It's making me so sad, man. Shit. I know someone who's not leaving though. Imperial. What you got to say?
Yeah, I'm not leaving.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. I'll probably come back. I'll always put in a second season. I honestly, final thing, I think I deserve most improved, but hey, all good. Started off 2-8 and probably like 0-16 first 3 matches. But it was a fun time. I can't wait for the All-Star games. Those are gonna be fun. I cannot wait to pull off some shenanigans and just troll people, I think.
Nice.
Some shenanigans.
Yes,
Nice.
sir.
And then my closing statement from my non-host point of view, from the player point of view, I agree. I think this was again an amazing season, probably the most successful season we've had so far here in VDC. This being my first season actually on a staff team, and let alone being a staff lead. I have so many people I would like to shout out. Everyone knows who they are. There's going to be a whole other thing that I shout out later on in community announcements that's going to go unread, because apparently no one told me no one reads community announcements until it was
nobody
until
reads it.
it was the third freaking last match of the season. I was like, man, I put all my hard work into making puns and into making matchups and all that, and no one even reads it. So anyway, thanks guys, shout out. But no, shout out to everybody on KC. For people who don't know, I celebrated my 1 year on KC a couple weeks ago.
Congrats.
Thank you. Quite sad that we couldn't bring home a chip, but I love all my teammates. They're all great individuals, and I will take a silver medal. It's the season for Olympics, so I'll take the silver medal. You know what I mean? So that will conclude this season's tier in review. Thank you all so much for making VDC season 6 the most successful one yet, and we cannot wait to see you guys in season 7. Signups will be opening in a couple weeks. Hopefully not too long. But until then, subscribe to the YouTube, listen to the podcast Match Point, and follow the Twitch and join the Discord to get involved. And as always, have a good one, everybody. I just messed up the sign out. Have a good one, everybody.